Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from class FIN544, Advanced Corporate Finance. We will talk about merger and acquisition of AMD and Xilinx. Our group consists 4 members, which is Muhammad Aminuddin, Ahmad Farid Adaha, Wan Raizan, and Ameh. This presentation is prepared for Sir Rustam bin Sha'ari. Now, let's hear our presentation.
Assalamualaikum, and my name is Warizam bin Waramli. Today I would like to present about merger and acquisition of AMD and Xilinx. Okay, company background AMD. For more than 50 years, AMD has driven innovation in high performance computer graphic and visualization technologies, the building block for gaming, immersive platform and the data center. The Xilinx background is develops highly flexible and adaptive computing platform that enable rapid innovation across a variety of technologies from the cloud to the edge to the endpoint.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Amir Bizari. I'm going to present the group assignment of the merger AMD and Xilinx acquisition. The introduction of the AMD and acquisition. Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated and Xilinx Incorporated agreed to a $35 billion all-stock transaction, strengthening AMD's competition with Intel in the data center processor market. AMD anticipates the transaction to the completion by the end of 2021. The merged business will have 13,000 engineers and an entirely outsourced production strategy that mainly relies on Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Incorporated (TD). The two American firms profited from a more agile approach in capturing market share from Intel, which has battled with internal production.
The reason for the merger and acquisition AMD and Xilinx. The first one is create the industry-leading high-performance computing company, significantly expanding the breadth of AMD's product portfolio and customer set across diverse growth markets where Xilinx is an established leader. The second one is bring together two industry leaders with complementary product portfolio, high performance processor technologies, combining CPUs, GPUs, FPGAs, adaptive SoCs, and deep software expertise. Okay, the third one is the capitalize on opportunities spanning some of the industry most important growth segments from the data center to gaming, PCs, communication, automotive, industry, aerospace, and defense too. The last one is the combined team of 30,000 talented engineers and over 2.7 billion of annual R&D investment. AMD will have additional talent and scale to deliver an even stronger set of products and domain-specific solutions.
Next is the method of merge and acquisition. The merger will bring two industry giants together with additional product portfolios and customers. and bringing together CPUs, GPUs, FPGAs, adaptive software computers, and deep software knowledge, enabling leadership in cloud and edge computing platforms. Together, a joint venture will be able to exploit prospects across some of the main segments of the ingredients, including data centers, gaming, PCs, communications, cars industry, aerospace, and military. And this long-term growth strategy is successful for a number of years, and its alliances are strengthened to promote high-performance computing leadership. Said that Dr. Lisa Su, President and CEO of AMD, the purchase of Xilinx, this is the next stage in our path to make AMD the strategic partner of choice to support its future innovation as an industry leader for the largest and most important technology firms in the world. Xilinx is one of the industry's strongest teams, and we're excited to join AMD. Said that Victor Peng, the chairman and CEO of Xilinx, will be able to accelerate the data center and the building a bigger client base across more geographies as a joint venture, also of shared culture of innovation, quality, and cooperation. The closure of the transaction is subject to the satisfaction of other customary conditions of closing, including the acquisition of the necessary regulatory clearances. The firms are still expected to conclude the merger by the end of 2021. That's all for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Fayyad Adha, and I will continue what my friend presented earlier. AMD and Xilinx merger deal. In October 2020, AMD concluded a final deal with Xilinx to purchase the semiconductor manufacturer in all-stock transaction of $35 billion. Two companies with additional product portfolio will join the transaction will instantly expand AMD's margin and cash flow. In the first 18 months following the company combination, AMD is also hoping to save $300 million due to cost synergies. The condition of the exchange provide for Xilinx stockholder to receive 17,234 that AMD stockholder own 74% of the combined firm after the completion of the transaction. In April, the merger was decisively approved by AMD and Xilinx shareholders. The acquisition of Xilinx would shoot the AMD data center business, not that it's over, not that it was necessary, and both firms have overlapped skill in other areas. For instance, artificial intelligence and adaptive system on a chip. By acquiring Xilinx, AMD can speed up revenue growth and strengthen its position as a server leader and start a direct attack on Intel in this sector. The data center business of AMD is primarily a good driver for revenue as a EPYC server processor are an enormous success, and AMD has seen good revenue growth in this sector last quarter. But the acquisition of Xilinx will also allow AMD to move beyond the gaming market, which is AMD has dominated with its widely adopted mobile gaming chip from Ryzen.
And for the risk of the post-merger opportunity that we can expect, that the EU and the UK will accept the combination, and the first week of the July will be a wonderful news for AMD and Xilinx. And then, however, the Chinese regulator is another issue, and the failed the NSTP merger to indicate the China antitrust authority can be a genuine wild card. The worst result for the AMD would be if the AMD or Xilinx agreement were rejected fully by China, which I think is impossible. However, even if that cases, AMD will only need to establish their own DC businesses, something that the company would do with very successful for the APYC server processor family. And therefore, as I think, talk at the possibility AMD at the fortune. And then I will talk about the post-merger opportunities. For the AMD and Xilinx, deal provide AMD with chances to penetrate the new automotive and the industrial to end the market. And the data center business of Xilinx complement server capability of the AMD and allow the AMD to exploit the expertise of EPYC processor. And Xilinx had a record around 851 million in the revenue for this year, and then poised to generate revenue at least 3 billion. And the combined industry revenue for the automotive and data center before the synergy might have become by around to 2.5 billion this year, and then maybe the next second year 3.5 billion. And then for the final talk, the AMD is desperately need a catalyst to break out our trade range from 74 billion to 88 billion. But the destiny of the AMD and Xilinx now is in for the regulator who have to assess whether or not to propose transaction harms competition. In the next week, the EU and the UK antitrust watchdog will most likely to approve the AMD and Xilinx agreement. This could be a catalyst for AMD to break up the trading portfolio of the last peak, close around 100 million, and then although the licensing procedure may take longer in China than in Europe, and I think that the agreement will ultimately to be accepted.
Merger and acquisition gains. In addition, given the sluggish growth of Xilinx, some analysts remain skeptical of the merger, and the price paid by AMD and the combined play capacity to generate enough free cash flow to complete again Intel and Nvidia are seen as excessive. In order to achieve sustained overall performance, there should be constant and improved growth, but other elements such as profitability and cash from operational operations should be taken into account. The merger agreement is based on a $143 per unit price for the stock of Xilinx. That is almost 25% of closing price of 26 October. It appreciates the FPGA expert at $35 billion or $7 billion above its $28 billion market value on that date. In addition, the AMD does not have its peer cash. The business has taken advantage of its position on the stock market to conclude the all-in stock transaction. The long-term revenue from CAGR is now expected as approximately 20% based on operation margin that improved by 3 to 16%, with the combined firm earning $11.6 billion at the beginning. Only in the 7th to the 8th year of operation sufficient profit to repay the premium paid are obtained. This simplistic mathematical calculation, however, ignore the COGS, cost of goods sold, and OPEX synergy generated by AMD Xilinx combination entity in providing a set of consistent, consistent solution, namely using the same hardware and server in data center to compress video accurate and efficiently at an important time for play and e-commerce.
And the last and not least, as a conclusion that I can conclude, the company will gain with merger and mergers. These tasks to discover the largest corporation make a good profit and good income that we can realize that the company need to have a strategy for join the growth. And then most of the company merger and purchase for the many reasons, including the exploitation the new product between the two companies, and then make it a strategy for the different country and profit the strongest firm. And under for the AMD and Xilinx, we can envision that AMD is making around 135 billion with a combination estimation. The revenue is around 18 billion in 2020, and the joint R&D expenditure for 4 billion. And then for the profit following the fusion, Indus' largest company has not yet been seen due to the newness for the merger, but it's project to have a beneficially effect on the income for the both company. And then thank you. That's all from me.
That's all from us. Thank you for listening. Hope we can meet again. Goodbye.